You're on CYInterview.
I'm Chris Shandek. Featured columnist Jay Bilstein is with me today on CYInterview. We welcome Las Vegas-based singer Mecca. She has a new song that's coming out this week, and she also has a new residency at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas' The Shag Room. Mecca, thanks for joining us on CYInterview today. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, we're glad to have you here. So just to begin, this is kind of an interesting one. A lot of people in the Las Vegas entertainment, performing arts community come from somewhere else to come and make their performing arts dreams a reality, but you were actually born in Las Vegas. So what was that like growing up here, really experiencing it and knowing that there was this, gigantic entertainment city?
Well, it was definitely a different experience for me growing up in Las Vegas. It wasn't very normal because my parents were also entertainers. My father was a piano player and my mother was a singer and a dancer. So it was, crazy hours and just kind of very odd growing up and being in that entertainment world. For, so young.
Well, this month you're going to release in a couple of days a new song called Stars and Moons. Can you tell me a little bit about it and where people will be able to find it?
Yes, so Stars and Moons will be streaming on all major platforms. That's Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, TikTok. And basically the history behind Stars and Moons, I wrote this song back in 2020 on my ukulele, and it was basically about my twin flame love, and I was just kind of yearning to be connected to my twin flame at the time, and we had decided to go our separate ways. And so I just sat down one night and I kind of explored my feelings about it, and I just started playing these chords, and then all of a sudden, intuitively, these words kept coming to me, and I just felt that I had to just express myself, and next thing I know, I have a song written, and I just knew I had to share it with the world.
And this will be out on October 8th, correct?
October 7th.
October 7th. Okay, thank you. So moving forward, last thing. So there has been an increase since live entertainment has gone back to more normal times after the pandemic. There's been an increase in lounge performers and entertainment performers and live singers at various resorts in Las Vegas. Tell us about the Shag Room, how often you're going to be there, and what has this been like to know that you'll be performing in an ongoing venue?
So this is my first major, residency at a major hotel, and just having the opportunity is very, very surreal. And the Shag Room is just very chic and sexy and super shagadelic. It has kind of a 60s retro vibe to it. Amazing craft cocktails, and of course, amazing live music. So it's a really beautiful venue inside the Virgin Hotel.
Jay?
Among the different fascinating things you've done and do is playing the ukulele. Maybe you could speak to us more about that. It's really a wonderful instrument, and I'm not sure that many people are really familiar with its history and other similar instruments. I think that the ukulele is probably most associated with Hawaiian culture, but there are similar instruments that have their fame on the North American continent. Could you speak to us about that?
Yes, so I picked up the ukulele during the pandemic, and I had all these projects with other musicians kind of lined up before the pandemic. And when it happened, we weren't able to have any type of physical contact whatsoever. And I just kind of came to this realization is I have to depend on a musician to accompany me. And so my hands are super small. Originally, I wanted to learn the guitar, but then I came across the ukulele, and I decided to get a ukulele, and it just fit so perfectly, and it felt so natural to me to play it. And so I just taught myself on my own, no tutorials, no lessons, how to play. And that's how my story and my history with the ukulele began.
That's pretty amazing. Are you familiar with the Jarana Jarocha of the state of Veracruz in Mexico, which is it's not a ukulele, but it's also, it has the guitar form, but in a smaller size. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not familiar with that, but I definitely would love to look into that and kind of learn more about that.
Yeah, it's really, these instruments are really something else, and they have a very interesting sound to them. And I found it fascinating. And are you one of these people who was born with perfect pitch? I mean, how do you go and just teach yourself an instrument?
A lot of people have asked me that question. I believe I was born with perfect pitch, and I've always just been very intuitive musically. I also feel like my ear was developed at a very early age, coming from parents who were just so musical, and also, having siblings, we all sang and harmonized together, and it was just such an important bonding kind of tool that we use to just bond and be together, and also express our emotions and how we felt, because I'm a little bit shy, but it's easy for me to get up there and perform and tell my story, and tell a story through a song. I just find it so natural for me.
You come from a performing family. Do you think that has prepared you for the ups and downs of the entertainment industry? Do you think that gives you a leg up, in a sense of kind of knowing what to expect, this kind of roller coaster ride of, hey, I'm nearing the top, and then perhaps, oh, wait, I'm not there yet, and going back and forth? Or do you think it makes things more daunting for you?
I believe it does. I believe it has prepared me for my opportunities currently up until this very moment, because I've definitely witnessed up and downs with my parents and what they went through and what they experienced in the entertainment industry, and I've also had my own ups and downs with music as well. And the thing is, for me, is I'm kind of willing to go through a lot because I love music so much. It's just part of who I am. It just comes natural. So I guess me being so passionate about it, I don't mind the downfall of the entertainment industry, and I kind of changed my perspective on those ups and downs of, it preparing me for something bigger and for something greater, and also learning so much about myself as an artist as well.
Do you think that for somebody to be a successful artist, they absolutely have to have some kind of, they have to be impervious to rejection, they have to be impervious to people say no to them? Do you think, and which I find interesting, because a lot of people in the arts are also very sensitive people. How does that get balanced?
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess it does depend on the situation, because I can't sit here and say that the rejection doesn't hurt and it doesn't make you question your value and question your talent, because you will have those moments. The most important moments, are pretty much your highlights, and we want to feel good most of the time, but that's just not the reality of the entertainment business. And when you do go through that rejection, you feel, you just start going through all kinds of questions of, am I good enough? So I think that the best way to deal with that would be to stay true to who you are and to know who you are coming into this business. You have to already know who you are coming into this business. If you don't know that, then this probably is not the business for you.
Do you think that you have to have, for lack of a better term, a particular angle? For example, I think of Lady Gaga, and I think when Lady Gaga came into the business, now Lady Gaga is a fabulous musician. I don't know, maybe people who are not hardcore Lady Gaga followers don't realize this. I remember seeing a video of her years ago playing piano and, singing, I think it was a selection of Led Zeppelin songs, and she was just absolutely phenomenal, yet she chose this road of performance artist as well, right? The meat dress and all these kind of very, very outlandish things. Do you have a particular take on it yourself where you say, my secret sauce, my recipe for the success and trajectory I want is, and you have something to kind of fill in the blank there?
For me personally, I just trust that my voice and the way I connect with people and make them feel when they're watching me is enough. I know that there's other things that, for example, image can definitely help with the success. But for example, Jennifer Lopez, she's an amazing, incredible performer, and she's definitely worked so hard on herself to get better and grow, but she's focused on getting better through her talent and enhancing that. And how can I get better? How can I get better? And I think for me personally, I just trust that it's my voice and my connection with people and how I make them feel, because I'm a very emotional singer, and that definitely comes across when I see people's faces in the audience of, how they're just so connected and so present with me. And that lets me know that I'm doing my job very well.
What's interesting is you mentioned image, and of course we live in an age of image. We could go back 50 years ago, and image in the music business was important, but I think image is by orders of magnitude many more times important today, for better or for worse. I believe you were in the Australian edition of Maxim at one point in time. I actually read, because if I recall, and I don't have notes, I'm just going from memory. I think it said something like, you said you're compassionate, passionate, et cetera, and I think sarcastic was in there, and I find that interesting because in speaking with you, it's hard to me imagine you being sarcastic. But coming to this image craft, do you think it's necessary today to present that image, for example, like Jennifer Lopez, who not only is an excellent performer, but she's also somebody who has a very, very specific kind of image that has been cultivated and crafted over time?
Yes. I think, and I guess for me, I think it's just me showing parts of my personality, and that's where my image was pretty much built on, is just parts of my personality, because I'm a very sensual, and I'm a sensual person naturally, and that's part of my personality, and sometimes that comes out through my music or through my modeling or just through different creative projects as well. And it's just kind of showing part of my natural personality. I'm a belly dancer as well, so I kind of channel that, and I think it's just beautiful and feminine. I love to be feminine and empowering. I think I find that very empowering as a woman. I love being a woman.
Well, I would say that Stars and Moon it's interesting when you say that you bring emotion to your music. It's clear in Stars and Moons, and it's a phenomenal piece of work. And I certainly wish you well with it, and I hope you come back with us and kind of fill us in on your continued trajectory of success. And, what do we say? Break a leg, Chris.
One last random one before we wrap up. You were recently with a past person who's been on CYInterview, Gloria Stefan. What was that like?
Yes, it was amazing getting to see such an intimate performance from her and hearing her speak and kind of deliver some really great advice to me, and to chat with her and to just kind of pick her brain a little bit of her experience in the music industry and to really just connect with her. She's such a genuine person to be around.
Yep.
And it was just an amazing experience. She's such an incredible, genuine person.
Oh, I think you explained it quite well, and I got the same experience for CYInterview when we were with her at a gala many years ago. Mecca's new song, Stars and Moons, comes out on October 7th on all the popular music platforms, and you can continue to see her at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas at the Shag Room. So for Las Vegas-based singer Mecca, featured columnist Jay Bilstein, and CYInterview, I'm Chris Shinnick.